perhaps the closest moment in human history to an alien civilization. On the evening of August 16, 1977, astronomer Jerry Ehman was, as usual, using the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University to observe the sky. At 10:16 p.m., just as he pointed the telescope towards the constellation Sagittarius, the telescope suddenly received a very strong and continuous narrowband radio signal. However, at that time, Jerry was the only one in the control room. He nervously operated the computer, printing out the received signal bit by bit, and then began to study the data. Under normal circumstances, the signal-to-noise ratio of natural signals in the universe is very small, usually represented by numbers like 1, 2, or 3. Signals with a signal-to-noise ratio exceeding 4 are extremely rare, and those with a strength exceeding 10 are represented by letters such as A for 10, B for 11, C for 12, and so on. So, if letters appear on the paper, it indicates that the signal is special. After carefully studying the data, Jerry found this special signal among a bunch of 1, 2, 3 signals. It showed an astonishing 6 equage 5. It should be noted that the value of U is 30, the highest value ever detected by this telescope. If this radio signal is plotted on a graph of intensity versus time using a Gaussian function, it would show that this 72-second signal is extremely special. After realizing that it might not be a natural signal, Jerry circled this segment of the signal with a red pen and wrote "Wow" next to it. This is the famous WOW signal event. So what does this WOW signal represent? Due to the low precision of the radio telescope at that time, the exact location of the signal in the universe could not be determined. The computer only provided a rough spatial range, which is about 24 to 25 degrees east of the center of the Milky Way and about 19 degrees southeast of the galactic plane. According to calculations, this position is in the northwest part of the Sagittarius globular cluster M55, where there are about 60 stars similar to the Sun, with the closest one being 132 light-years away from Earth, and the farthest one being 1,800 light-years away. If this signal was indeed sent by an alien civilization in this region, it would be a very frightening fact, because the closest star is only 132 light-years away, which is very close in the scale of the universe, like our neighbor. If their civilization is more advanced than ours, it could pose a great threat to humanity in the future. It is worth noting that the Big Ear telescope is fixed on the ground, and it scans the sky as the Earth rotates. According to the Earth's rotation and the telescope's observation window, the Big Ear telescope observes any point for 72 seconds. This means that any signal from outside the Earth would only be recorded for 72 seconds, and the signal would gradually increase in strength, reaching its peak at the 36th second, when the signal is right in the center of the telescope's window, and then it would start to weaken. The length of the WOW signal is exactly 72 seconds, and its intensity variation matches the pattern of a signal from outside the Earth. This made scientists feel very amazed. Even more strangely, under any circumstances, one horn of the telescope would receive the signal 3 minutes after the other horn, but this time it did not. Moreover, after receiving the WOW signal, Jerry tried to use the Big Ear telescope to receive it again every month, but he never succeeded. Even in later years, using more powerful antennas to search this area, no similar signal was detected. So, what exactly is the WOW signal? We need to know that if a radio signal in the universe is not natural, it must meet 3 characteristics. The first is a high signal-to-noise ratio. Under normal circumstances, signals emitted by celestial bodies in the universe have a low signal-to-noise ratio because the distances between celestial bodies are very far, and the signals they emit become very weak when they reach Earth. The WOW signal's signal-to-noise ratio is more than 30 times the average level of cosmic background noise. If it were a signal emitted by a celestial body, it could only be a neutron star or a pulsar, which emits such high signal-to-noise ratio signals. Astronomers have observed that there is indeed a pulsar near Sagittarius, called PSRB 1929+10, but this celestial body is about 2,600 light-years away from Earth, not within the range of the WOW signal. There are no other suspicious neutron stars near Sagittarius, so we can speculate that if there are no other celestial bodies in this area that can emit such high signal-to-noise ratio signals, then the WOW signal is likely emitted by an alien civilization. The second characteristic is a specific frequency. The frequency of the WOW signal is 1420 MHz. Due to the current level of human technology, we cannot monitor all frequencies in the universe, so we can only choose the frequency bands most likely used by alien civilizations. The most common element in the universe is hydrogen, which emits a special frequency of about 1420 MHz. If a civilization wants to send a radio signal to another civilization, it would definitely choose the most noticeable frequency in the universe, because astronomers from other civilizations are likely also watching this band. The 1420 MHz band fits this characteristic, so it is designated as an important band for radio astronomy. To avoid interfering with astronomical observations, this band is not used internationally. The last characteristic is narrowband. Under normal circumstances, natural electromagnetic emissions are not limited to within 10 kHz, but the bandwidth of the WOW signal is only 0.0007 Hz, which is a very small bandwidth. The bandwidth of a star is usually several hundred MHz, and a galaxy can reach thousands of Hz. Such a small bandwidth is usually artificially emitted. Combining these three characteristics, we can almost be certain that the WOW signal comes from an alien civilization. This may be the closest humans have come to an alien civilization. In the following decades, astronomers never stopped studying the WOW signal. On November 8, 2020, astronomers finally determined the coordinates of the WOW signal source using the Advanced Gaia space satellite. It indeed comes from the constellation Sagittarius, 1,800 light-years away, at coordinates RON 1928 meters, dec plus 26 degrees 57. There is indeed a star similar to the Sun at this position, named 2mas 1928 plus 26. If there is a planet similar to Earth around this star, and if an intelligent civilization has developed on it, then the WOW signal is likely sent by them. Unfortunately, the signal represented by 6 equage 5 is not a form of information encoding. It only represents the encoding method of signal-to-noise ratio strength. The signal starts from 6 units, gradually increases to U, and then gradually decreases to 5 units. Therefore, we cannot decipher its meaning. Moreover, in the decades following the discovery of the WOW signal in 1977, astronomers have never received a similar signal from Sagittarius again. If this signal was indeed sent by an alien civilization, why did they only send it once? Even more frightening is that the star from which the signal was emitted is 1,800 light-years away. In the universe, electromagnetic waves travel at the speed of light, so if it was indeed sent by an alien civilization, the WOW signal was emitted 1,800 years ago. Humanity has only had the ability to send radio signals into the universe for a few decades, so their civilization must be far more advanced than ours. However, whether it is the WOW signal or any future signals from an alien civilization, we will always face a challenge after receiving the signal: how to decipher it. What do you think the WOW signal represents? Do you believe the WOW signal truly comes from an alien civilization?